Hey animal lovers! So today I want to cover what could be one of the scariest situations of your life, and that is how to catch a loose dog. So this could be your dog, or this could just be a dog that you see running loose. This could be a friend's dog, whatever the case may be. If this is your own dog, you'll know a little bit more and have a little bit better information, which will be great and super helpful. This is Liana, the owner of Wet Noses Pet Sitting, and today we are going to talk about how to catch a loose dog. So if you've got a loose dog, yours or someone else's, the first thing you want to do is really try to get a read on what kind of dog they are. So there's basically two types of situations. Either the dog is going to be the super nervous, anxiety-ridden, trying to get away from you dog, or the dog is going to be the I'm having so much fun, I get to run around and play dog. So how you handle each dog is going to be a little bit different, but it helps to know which one you're dealing with. So if you can, try to figure that out. Either way, no matter whether your dog is nervous or whether your dog is just having a good time, you do not want to chase your dog. Do not chase your dog. I cannot say this enough times. Do not chase your dog. And do not yell at your dog. If you think the dog is possibly going to run, don't use a stern tone of voice, because why would you want to go to someone who is yelling at you? That doesn't make any sense. So you want to use a happy, cheerful, fantastic, happy to see voice, no matter how mad you are or how frustrated or how long you've been chasing your dog. And don't chase your dog. So if the dog you're trying to catch is nervous, you definitely want to try to look at the perspective from the dog. So if everything in this situation is about safety. The dog is trying to be safe and trying to stay away from scary things, so don't do anything that can even remotely be perceived as scary. That means don't yell at them, don't stand in a way that is scary, don't use a tough tone of voice, don't do anything of that sort. You definitely want to do things like use body language that is going to be non-threatening. So that means sitting down on the ground, possibly, definitely kneeling, especially if it's a smaller dog. You don't want to try to get too close to them. You want them to get just close enough that you can kind of see that you're a person and you're not super scary. If possible, lay down on the ground. Try laying down on the ground with your dog right now, and I bet that most dogs feel the need to come and investigate and see what the heck happened to you and why you fell over. So try laying on the ground if they can see you. If they're running away in a panic, they're not going to be able to take a look. So they have to have paused, which means you can't be too close and you can't be too far away. If you are trying to get your hands on a dog that is just super excited and happy and is loving the freedom of running around and seeing new things, what you actually want to do is just be more exciting than anything else that's around. And that means making sure that the dog can see you, and then in your most cheerful voice, you can even yell in a very high-pitched voice. This is harder for guys, but yell in a high-pitched voice, be super excited. You can clap to get their attention, call them, make it really clear that you guys are going to have the best party ever. And then what you do, if they're not coming up to you, that's fine. What you're going to actually do is run in the opposite direction of them. Run away from them. Most dogs have a really hard time not chasing something that looks like it's going to be super fun and entertaining. So a lot of times you can catch a dog that is just having a good time just by acting like you're more fun than anything else they have going on. You can also have a lot of luck with other people catching this dog, so just make sure that if you have other people around that you just tell them, please grab that dog, so that they can take that chance and go ahead and grab the dog for you. You don't want to do that necessarily with a dog that has a lot of anxiety or fear that might bite somebody, but a dog that's just out having a good time, definitely that works out well. Another great thing you can try is the car ride. Car rides get a lot of dogs, and I've had a lot of luck catching dogs just by pulling up next to them in my car and popping a door open. Again, I try to be non-threatening, so I'm not in the way. I make sure that I'm far out of the way of the open car door, nowhere near it. I don't want them to feel like they have to stay away from me. So try clearing some space, opening that door, and then just using your happiest voice to ask them if they want to go for a car ride. And that will actually get a lot of dogs by itself without a problem. If the dog loves other dogs, definitely consider going and finding another dog really quick. You might either borrow a dog from another person, or if there's another dog in the household, sometimes that dog that's loose will come to them just because they're familiar or come to check them out. You want to be careful that you have somebody else watching the dog that is free at that time so that you don't lose him while you're trying to go find another dog, but sometimes that has a lot of success getting dogs that would otherwise either be too nervous or just disinterested in what's going on to come back to you. So if none of that works, some longer term options that you can do are to get on your phone and call other people and try to get help catching your dog. If there's nobody in the area, no neighbors that can help you, then just give some people a call and see if they can meet up with you where you are. You still have to keep an eye on the dog at that time to make sure it's not getting away, so just be careful about that. Another thing that you can try is getting a trap from the Humane Society. This is a much longer term option if you're not having any luck catching the dog. And this really only works if the dog stays in one kind of area, if the dog is perhaps lost in a wildlife area or something like those lines and is too nervous to come up to people. Sometimes the trap idea can work really well. And don't give up hope. Dogs definitely sometimes can be lost for a long time, or they can be gone, or they can be hard to catch, and eventually something will go right for you. Mainly if you can keep the dog away from traffic and make sure that there aren't too many problems, eventually you'll luck out and something will go well. Once you catch the dog, this is super important. Once you catch the dog, be sure to praise the dog and act like it's the best thing in the whole world. If the dog ever gets loose again and you have yelled at him for when you catch him, he's just going to learn that coming to you when he's lost is scary. So definitely be super happy, be cheerful. The dog does not realize necessarily that he did anything wrong, and you want to encourage him always to come back to you. And use this as a lesson for encouraging your dog to come back to you in the future, and maybe do some practice on how those recalls work and stuff. So this is a good chance to remember that it's time to do some practicing of some recalls, some comes and heres and whatnot, so that you don't have this case in the future. So go catch that dog, guys. I am super excited to be doing these videos here. So if you are interested in seeing more videos like this, please like or comment and let me know what you'd like to see so that I can keep making things that are useful for you.